the manifesto that this government came into power on, telling the people about what they'll be. But I want to know basically what has been some of the progress I've made. First, looking at the economy, especially people in the streets, bread and butter, bread and butter. What has the PAPD addressed in that area to benefit to benefit the lives of our people?
So the PAPD is a concept that focuses on ameliorating the harsh conditions of our people
Mm,
in terms of transforming an already impoverished masses into an appreciable economic status.
mhm,
Uh, it is, in fact, a pro-poor approach. Pro-poor in the sense that
mhm,
it tends to mitigate the incidence of hardship, if I may use the ordinary word,
mhm,
the incidence of hardship that our people are burdened with. And so it has several approaches in mitigating those incidents of hardship. Uh, of course, the current issue in this country is a bread and butter issue.
mhm,
Bread and butter issue. And the reason why bread and butter issue becomes one of the burn yep, opening one of the burning problems is because of the presence of huge unemployment
mhm,
in the absence of sustainable income generation. Our people are burdened with these enormous hardship.
mhm,
So, what this government intends doing at its inception stage was to address the huge gap of
mhm,
unemployment that persisted in the economy over the years.
mhm,
Uh, there are several approaches that were used.
mhm,
One, the National Infrastructural Program. National Infrastructural Program is a program that will involve a mass participation of unemployed people.
mhm,
So one of the approaches the government sought to use was how do we create jobs for our people in the absence of industries?
okay.
So the way to diversify the concept was to pull people in infrastructural development, like road construction.
Mhm,
So the government intensify its intervention in rehabilitating and or constructing roads. With the construction of roads,
mhm,
people will be employed. Through employment, people will receive income. Families will be stabilized
mhm,
because bread and butter will now be placed on the table.
mhm,
So the construction industry has employed a little more than, I think, over 23,000 real people working day and night in
urban and rural.
both urban and rural,
Okay.
day and night, working on various government sponsored projects
Mhm,
throughout the country. Throughout the country, it's not isolated to one locale. It
mhm,
is decentralized. So the government did not market itself primarily in the urban sector. No, it diversified its involvement in rural. In fact, you will be shocked to know that more roads are being constructed in rural
Now,
Liberia
when you talk about 23,000 persons benefiting from,
annually.
annually benefiting from, is that what you targeted in line with your PAPD?
Well, our target was to get our people out of poverty.
Mm.
How do you get people out of
Is that
poverty when people?
number? Is that number? No,
It's
the
an annual
number you
number.
targeted, or you wanted to
Well,
go beyond that?
well, it's just in one sector. If you look at 23 on average, 23,000 on average, multiplied by the 6 years, we're talking about over 100,000 people being actively participating in road construction.
Mm.
If it's just in the construction sector,
Okay.
we are not looking at the intensification of the electrification process in the country.
Mhm.
As you are aware, the government invested a little over $50 million to intensify the connectivity of energy in our homes.
Mm.
Yes, the West African Power Pool was a concept under the Sustainable Development Goal and the Millennium Challenge,
Mhm.
but it was It was intensified after George Weah took power, understanding the need that energy plays a crucial role in any economic progress of a country.
Okay.
We have a net deficit of energy in this country. The hydro only generate 88 megawatt of power during the peak rainy season, and it drops
Now, but
substantially
the
to
question I'm
66.
asking, Dr. Tinning, how is that addressing the poverty of our people? How is that alleviating or relieving them of the impoverished condition that you inherited?
So the question is, if people are not employed, they are endemically poor. Employment itself
Mm,
cancel that issue of poverty because, well, if you look at the baseline definition of poverty, if you cannot find at least $400 a day, you are poor.
mm,
But with the of course the decent wage bill being passed,
mm,
people nobody earn less than below the poverty line. So the issue of addressing poverty is to address the issue of employment. If the people are gainfully employed,
mm.
receiving appreciable income, you have addressed the issue of poverty. The issue of poverty is not addressed through donations of goods or services by government. This is not a welfare state.
Mhm.
So we need to get the people involved. We need to have their participation in the economy, but at the same time, they will be remunerated through income generation.
Mm.
That
Now,
is a stock work appreciation, a definition of alleviating poverty.
you made reference to the construction companies
Yeah.
who are providing jobs for our people as well. Um, is what you're saying? Is this statistics? Is it genuine, or are you, trying to just
Of course,
estimate something?
no, no. Of course, every construction company has a labor force. Those labor force are captured by both for income tax purposes and for NASCOP compensation purposes.
Mm,
So yes, that those numbers are accurate. At times it fluctuates given the season, like during the rainy season, of course, construction activity will reduce.
mm,
So area that require like asphalt pavement, the presence of people who pave the road will be reduced,
mm.
but earthwork employee will still be visible. Work that involves cement, convex laying. You can do that during the rainy season. So
Mhm.
on average, we have 23,000 people being employed every year for the
Every
masses
year.
every year on
Mhm.
average.
Now, let's just go back to the economy. I was still talking about how the PAP did address the issue of poverty. uh, Looking at the economy, I know we all were in this country when this government inherited, when the government, assumed, the state power. It was faced with serious cash shortage. When you went to the bank, unfortunately, you couldn't get, your cash there. I don't tell you, we gave you just 10% of what you have in the bank, and so it was cash trap. But want to bring us up to speed with some of the measures that were taken, by this government economically to stabilize what we have now as the economy.
So the presence of the economic management team was a miracle in disguise.
Hmm.
President Weah took office 2018, 2 years after the global economy nearly collapsed as a
Hmm.
result of a global pandemic. However, in the presence of global calamity, we still maintain an economic stability. We try to avoid what we call the twin evil in the economy. The twin evil is basically high inflation and high unemployment that is described by, I think, the Philip curve.
Hmm.
Liberia has the lowest inflation rate. Now, let me tell you what,
As we speak now.
as we speak, let me tell you
Hmm.
what inflation does.
Hmm.
Inflation directly slices disposable income, your take home pay.
Hmm.
It is something that directly negatively impact disposable income to an extent that it damages income. For example,
Hmm.
if you have an inflation of 10%, we inherit an inflation around 28%. It means that every $1 you have,
Mhm.
28 cents of that dollar is damaged as a result of inflation. Currently, our inflation rate hovers around 6.9%.
Mm.
So if you earn $100, $6 is reduced as compared to $28.
Mhm.
So what that means is that people have more purchasing power as a result of low inflation. Goods and services are mostly stable as a result of low inflation. So inflation itself destabilized the macro economy to the disadvantage
Mm.
of an impoverished society. So maintaining a stable and low inflation was one of the miraculous intervention that the Minister of Finance did.
So
And that's
how do we do that as a country?
well, it is through several macro fiscal measures.
Mm.
We have several macro fiscal intervention. For example, maintaining a wage bill that was affordable to the national envelope was one of the prerequisite that tend to mitigate the adverse effect of inflation.
Mm.
Our wage bill, because of the victory balloon and uncontrollable figures,
Mm.
thus giving rise to different forms of intervention that tend to address that. But the concept of wage rationalization, we inherited a situation where not everybody in government were earning the same wage bill.
Mm.
There were
We
ministers
had
earning
disparity in
twenty
salary. Mm.
thousand, while other ministers were earning 10,000. So the
Mhm.
government decided to regularize and harmonize. Harmonization is basically a situation of ensuring that equity in wage and job are brought to equilibrium. So,
Mm.
for example, if you work at the Ministry of Finance as a deputy minister, your salary cannot be different from someone who work in post and telecommunication as a deputy minister.
Mhm.
So, it is basically the rationalization of wage that give rise to the stability in the wage bill. So, and then that only it brought down people with Herculean wage bill to
Mm.
an equilibrium level and upsurge those at the bottom of the pyramid. So people who were earning $45 because they were at the lowest level of the pyramid are now earning around 150, 175, $200.
Mm.
Nurses, for example, were earning $50 a month. No nurse in public employment earn less than 250 US dollar a month.
Mm.
That in itself is about 400% increment. And that's what harmonization does. Harmonization actually benefited people at the lowest echelon of the wage pyramid and create an equilibrium for those in the upper echelon,
Mm.
so that the government was able to manage a sustainable wage bill. That was very important in ensuring macro fiscal stability.
Mm.
It's very important. More besides
Mhm.
its involvement in the investments, the government participated in huge investment. Infrastructure is an investment. Infrastructure is an investment. So if you create more roads, you create more economic hubs. Roads create economic activity. People who were in the rural sector where roads were not accessible are now bringing their goods to the market. With goods from the market, income are generated. People buy those goods, bring it to the urban sector. Trade occur. With trade, more income are generated, thus addressing the issue of poverty
Mm.
that has handicapped most of our people over the last 100 years. So you see, our macro fiscal performance itself is a testament to addressing the poor status of our people.
Now you spoke about the inflation being reduced over and over about 6
6.9,
point
the
uh,
lowest in the sub-region, as a matter of fact.
okay, the lowest. Now how is that impacting the Musui in regular market?
So Imam Musu had 100 Liberian dollars before.
Mm.
She will she will subject her $100 and only have $72 because of inflation, giving a previous inflation rate of 28%.
Mhm.
Now Mamusu can boast that she technically got $94 to spend if you subtract inflation. So you see, with managing the macro economy, you put more money in the pocket of people that give them more ability to participate in the economy through these various economic activities.
Mm.
So the way the economy works is such that inflation cripples income, inflation handicaps income, inflation reduces purchasing power.
Mm.
So if you reduce inflation, you increase purchasing power. When you increase purchasing power, you create a demand for more goods, because when
Mm.
more people have the ability to buy more, people will bring in more. When people bring in more goods, they pay more taxes to
Surely,
government.
surely.
And when more taxes are paid to government, government use most of those taxes to address other economic deficit. So more roles are created. So you have a whole package
Mm.
of activity occurring as a result of controlling a very significant variable inflation. With if you manage inflation, you create more jobs for people because people have more to spend.
Mm.
More activities will be generated because of more money in their pockets. Food on the table will be a thing of the past
Mm.
because people have more things to buy. And then that's not only that, government shifted most of the domestic burdens. If you send your child or you send your children to public school, for example, in at the tertiary level, you pay absolutely nothing.
Mm.
So education being an inelastic, a perfectly inelastic commodity, the burden now shift to the government, wherein the burden should have shifted to the end user. And parents were the end user of education because their children went to obtain education. But now government has shifted that burden.
Mm.
Every semester, government spent $1.4 million to subsidize the free tuition process at the University of Liberia and other public universities.
Mm. Now,
So
you,
that in itself
mm.
is putting more bread and creating more butter on the table of home. Because if you are a parent
Mm.
and you need to take school fees to pay for your child or your children at the university level, that burden has been canceled by government. If you had a child in the 12th grade where you have to at least at the end of the year look for that $50 or $30, whatever the fees is for YA, you no longer pay those fees.
Mm.
So government burden itself by shifting the incidence of those taxes on itself, thus addressing income disparity in homes.
Now, you spoke, lastly about, the reduction, in our inflation rate.
Yeah.
What was it when you took over
It was
as
around
a government?
28, 29%.
Granted. Now, why do you think at that time the previous administration couldn't have, reduced it at the level you've reduced it now, especially when the previous administration had all of the monies coming in as from the standpoint of OMIO and also support coming to the previous administration. What do you think? What magic did you play that the previous administration couldn't play then?
Well, and that was clearly stated by the candidate of the Unity Party, Ambassador Joseph Borka.
Mm.
They squandered those opportunities. Squandered means you did not appreciate the presence of those opportunities. You allow it to slip by without harnessing its impact on the people.
Mm.
So you squandered. Squander also has a negative connotation. You diverted those opportunities for other usage, personal usage, or a clique elitist usage at
Mm.
the expense of the national population. So squander itself was the appropriate word that Joseph Burka used, that they squander those opportunities. And it pains my heart when I see the same faces trying to rescue a country that has been already rescued.
Mm.
You had 12 years, and you yourself, without any point of duress, agree that you squandered those opportunities. Why do you think we will be looking for electricity when you have $500 million from the Norwegian and the European Union to generate your own power? Why did you misuse $500 million on water in the 60 and has an energy potential of 88 megawatt when it's raining. I mean, these are people who are well knowledgeable
Mm.
in terms of various discipline.
Now, our people listening to us, Mr. Dr. Tini, may not understand uh, when you talk about squad out, because yes, that was the statement made by the former Vice President Joseph Boyka, who's now in part of rural, asking for our people to give him support. Now, if you were to look at that in the negative connotation, what would that be?
So yesterday I saw on Facebook that he was in Campley,
Mhm,
and he drove on an asphalt paved road, a road that never existed during the last 12 years when they were in power.
mhm,
Currently, Saclay to Ganta is asphalt paved under George Weah in 6 years. A road that was inaccessible over the last 12 years, beginning 2017 backwards. So, what message do we try to send out silently? That yes, you are a beneficiary of our intervention
mm,
against your 12 years of squandering your intervention. You did not you did not optimize the presence of huge international laggers. Liberia had $16 billion over the last 12 years passing through this economy. But from 2017, this economy looked like even $1 billion passed through. Yeah.
mm.
I mean, our people are witnesses to some of these squander that was used by Ambassador Boyka. But we are not concerned about what they did in the past.
Mm.
Our flagship is what we have done now for the last 6 years. We have addressed all of those gaps in terms of infrastructure, in terms of electrification. Take, for example, medical doctors.
Mm.
Medical doctors earned from 2005 to 2017 on $800. Today, no medical doctor earned below 2,000 US dollar. Is it the optimal salary that should be for them? No, but it is a 180% leap, 180% appreciation for their services to country.
Mm.
180% more appreciation for the risks they take in ensuring that our people are treated. That is an issue that we use as a flagship.
Mm.
Nurses were earning $50. Now, no nurse earn below $250 to $300. Those people work day and night, taking huge risk
To save lives.
to save lives of
Mm.
our people. Is it the optimal salary that they should have? No, but it is over 400% leap in what they have earned previously.
Mm.
So you see, we are not concerned about what they did not do in the last 12 years. Our focus is what we are doing,
Mm.
and this is why we are marketing. And the campaign is so easy for us. Eddie started her campaign 2011, 20 months back. We have not even started campaigning because our intervention is a campaign message by itself. Of
Now,
us telling the people.
while you are, saying that, the people see what you've done and it's visible, and so you think that it's a campaign by itself. Equally so, your opponents, trying to accuse you, or they are accusing you of being responsible. You listen to Joseph Imabok and the rest, that the proliferation of drugs, harmful drugs in the country today, it's attributed to you. It is under your administration that you found that you have many of the at-risk youth now, numbers swelling on a daily basis with the importation of cooch and all of that. How do you respond to that?
So, if we all can recall, the term Zogo came during the administration of Madame Salif.
Hmm.
When she took power, what did she do to address the socio-sacket problem of our people? They were not in mass number. These people were hovering not more than 20,000. You could have put in place mechanism to address their calamity in terms of their plight. What social program did you put in place over the last 12 years to address the low numbers of Zogos in the country
At the time.
at the time when the economy was at its optimum level? The economy grew around 8 to 9% during her administration. What did you do to address the plight of these vulnerable people? They needed help. These are people that need help. Some of them came as a result of the hangover of the war. They needed programs,
Hmm.
and you had the international presence to address and mitigate the social effect of their presence. What did you do? Their number grew. Their number grew exponentially, and some of those who are participants of drugs
Mhm.
came from very good homes. Those who were destroyed as a result of lack of income.
Mhm.
Lack of income because the opportunities you never use, you squander those opportunities. It manifested in the children. The children became displeased with their parents not providing. Frustrated, they resorted to the abuse of drugs. One of our administration, that is a serious problem. The Minister of Gender, and I spoke over it the last time, that I mean, we all focus on the election period, but we need an emergency. We should declare it as a national emergency because these people are vulnerable. They need serious help.
Hmm.
So, and I'm sure because she sits on the cabinet with the president, I've sent several messages to the president highlighting the need for our attention to be drawn towards these people.
Hmm.
These are our citizens.
So
And the president has
the
responded
point you are
positively.
making here is that the former vice president served in the government, under which the number of those at risk youth grew, exponentially, and nothing they did at all about
Nothing they
that.
did. Nothing they did. So, of course, we cannot do anything now because we are approaching an electoral process.
Hmm.
But I can assure you that as soon as the result is announced October 15th, because we are not interested in 2 rounds, we will win 1 round.
You sure of that?
Well, I'm 99%
What are
sure.
what are the writings on the wall?
The people,
that point to
the
your
people, the people, the
Mm.
people are campaigning for us before our campaign is launched.
Hmm.
Go in the rural sector. And I see on Facebook, podcast in different era, people troop to see those who contributed to their devastation. They want to see the man who led the squandering of the resources. It's not that they want to appreciate his presence. They want to see who suffered us during the last 12 years. And when we decide to go in those areas,
Mhm.
the number will quadruple. And our campaign is being spread by the rural inhabitants, even with all our presence.
Hmm.
The people are the beneficiary of our intervention. They are the ones campaigning for us. Our works are the campaign message. We are not going to tell people we will do. People have seen what we have done. People have seen what we have done. All we're going to say is that we're going to extend what we have done.
Hmm.
We're going to increase what we have done. We're going to improve on what we have done. And not what we all going to do or what we didn't do when we were there. But now, if you give us the opportunity, we will do. No, like
You don't sound very daunted, maybe intimidated, especially
no.
with the names that we are hearing, fixers
Yeah.
and rescuers. What are you so upbeat that those names do not have any potential to make you feel somehow intimidated?
Because the Liberian people are a clear witness to our presence. We don't need to tell them what we have done. They have seen.
Hmm.
If you drove on this corridor from ERW Junction to the airport for the first time in over 174 years, Liberia will boast of the first major highway. This is a major highway, the first major highway after independence.
Hmm.
It's being constructed under this president. What does it say? We don't need to tell the people go and see the RIA rule. They are driving on it on a daily basis. If you drove on this corridor, you will see the intensification of the electricity sector. People are working day and night to have homes connected to the national electricity grid. We don't need to tell people these things. They are seeing it for themselves. If you go on the Campley Road, where Joseph Boca drove yesterday, and in fact, I understood he was looking at the road. He was looking at the road and seeing its beautification. And I can imagine what he was saying in his mind. If we had, or if we knew what we were doing, this would not have been a difficult campaign for us. But see, they are now campaigning. We were not campaigning. We were not going to show our presence that, yeah, this is the man who brought this road. We're not going to sell our message. The messages are sold in the minds of the people. The people are the testament of our involvement in their lives.
Okay.
Proper involvement in their lives. So the issue of bread and butter is not government knocking on the doors of people with bread and butter. No, it is the people leaving their homes to go and work, bring back home food on the table for their family. That is the issue of the bread and butter.
Okay, let's try to take a few calls quickly. Let's take a few calls. I'm sure you addressed the issue of how the PD is alleviating our people of poverty and addressing the many challenges that this government inherited when you took over. 0776-540-987. Again, 0776-540-987. Or better still, 0880-514-096. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning.
Good morning. This is Minister Gertrude Williams, Assistant Minister for Admission.
Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, I want to say good morning to the studio guests. You have said it all. President William Legacy speaks volume to the people. You see, today, you see my county, River Chikambe, where I hear from, was electrified 3 days ago. And you see, enter Fishtown, it was so glaring. People were so happy. And they see a lot of things that are happening. You see the 14 military hospital, first of its kind in our country. Today, you see women are participating fully in this government. It's because of this president. And there are a lot of things that are happening. Students being, the medical doctors today, they were underpaid, statistics are proven, and today they are getting good salary. So there are a lot of things that the president did. The people say the people that let do lay after them, but the deeds of President we are will speak volume. So let us go, let us have the blueprint, and we are here to do the work. Thank you so much.
Many thanks, many thanks. I think this other call on the line. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, brother. Sorbor.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the show this morning. You know, the minister has said it all. We're not going to go home campaign. We're going to the police already know what it means. So, we know what you want also what can. The money, before it's gone. We can't also give money to some all these things. So, we don't want one campaign for making people. The people already know what we do.
Okay. Okay, the people already know what we can do. Let's take this call on the line. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning, sir. Hello?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, my name is Kapsami and I call from Sorbor.
Okay. Oh, it seems like you are not ready. I can keep you on the line. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, sir.
We are calling from Jeju, County.
Okay.
Okay, my question is on the enrollment. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you for what you said this morning. But my concern here is you increase the size of the medical data. Are you also applying mechanism to increase the medication? Because the medication will get good salary here. What's my medical?
Okay, he's off the line. Let's take this caller. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, anyway, my name is Emmanuel Howard. Yeah, good morning.
Yes, go right ahead.
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel Howard. I just want to appreciate your
of time and say hi to good morning to you. And not listening to your studio guest because I think I got my phone to watch show. I think get to do a research. No doctors, no nurses, salary increase. Thank you.
Let's hear you. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, my name is Scott Simon and I call from Tottenham.
Let's hear from you from Tottenham.
Good morning to your studio guest.
Mm-hmm.
Your studio guest has said little or nothing when it comes to how this government has come down on the use of drugs. All because is to shift me on the past government. We started for 2 years and we brought it into power to see how best they can change things that was not in right or was not right. When you came to power, you have done nothing to alleviate the people from drugs or to control the use of drugs.
Okay, you made your point of it. Let's just call on the line. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm okay.
This is Joel Jackson. Sorry, I'm not on the topic because I know that the president is doing what he ought to do and we can see. But I just wanted to find out what is the problem with those of us that are pension. We cannot get our salary.
Okay.
Our pension salary.
Okay, maybe my student guests will address that. They've seen his perfect. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I'm James Billy calling from Konya Community Rafi Highway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just want to say thank you to your secretary, our another honorable. You know, the opposition in Nigeria, we don't want to get it, want to be fair. The people are saying they want and they right thing, but at the same time, they are on it. They road construction like we are in Nigeria, they are not, they are seeing it, we say that they are seeing it, but they just want to look at it and blind because they are opposition. But some the defense, the city is prepared and a lot of people on their campaign go all over in the city country and so that's just about war right. We didn't even premier about second round.
Okay.
They are preparing now to kill the opposition. They pay that they've been working for before.
Okay, many thanks. It's just one round. We are not thinking about second round. 0776540987. Better still 0880514096. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, this is Lauren Baba calling you from Liverpool Day to be where district. But we are calling it to be legislative district too.
Okay.
And Sorbor, let me join out my voice on the minister this morning. And we tell the people here that do call, in fact, the cow that have no horn. But we believe that for the weird development, when promoted that to wanting the leper magic, whosoever lay a foundation for local rule will be my brother. We are all the candidates in the faculty. Thank you so much, Mr. Minister.
Many thanks. I think this caller. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Papa George.
Yes, sir.
My permanent calling for presidency became a grandpa country, one of our country 5 years.
Okay.
Let me say good morning to my powerful minister in studio. Look, Mr. Sorbor Joy, we are not here to talk plenty. If they go up on nothing, what the development process we are carrying on, but then let us just get it all changed because we know crack cut one of our veterans of God. Because we from the swamp, we from the villages, we see what the president is doing for all in Liberia. Then 1847, no president have done this. So it tell us that president we are is clear. We don't want to go for two rounds.
Okay.
2 round money will put it on road. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Thank you very
Many
much.
thanks. We take 2 more calls quickly. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Thank you. This is Paul Sosa. I call from Programmation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to say thanks to the Honorable Man in the studio. He said it all concerning about the harmonization that went on. What happened on us through that war harmonization? I was here during the past administration. I was making $10,700 Liberty dollars, and prior to the present government, when the government took off over, I started making $27,000 in the present administration. So when the harmonization came about, then after the harmonization, I was left with $20,000 plus $22,000 because some of my colleagues where myself working, they are volunteer teachers, and they are not on payroll. And some people working in the health sector, they were serving as volunteer health worker for so many years. So when the harmonization, after the harmonization, now how all of those people are able to place on government payroll, I would not be satisfied when I'm working, I'm getting paid. Them are freelance doing volunteer work, they are not getting paid. That's why the government started to do the harmonization. And after the harmonization, there are a lot of development that went on. You see things children wise fees and making all state university free. And all of those development that is ongoing.
Okay, many thanks. You made your point already. Let me this caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Sorbor.
Good morning, sir.
This is John J. Bakwe, the former superintendent of Grand Pastor County.
Let's hear from you, former soup.
Yeah, let me appreciate your studio guest Lester this morning, and I believe that we on path. And when we took over NIDA in 2018, superintendents were making $3,500 United States dollars before we took over, and then 120 some more Liberian dollars. When President George came out with harmonization, some of us say, hey, but we've seen the ripple effect of the harmonization. I'm telling you today, you see students are not paying work fee anymore because of the harmonization that took place. There's no wasteful spending in government anymore because, in fact, I did not receive gas fee on their resign. Because, President, we have said that if you're making money, you can buy your gas and go to work. You cannot live at the expense of the people. So some of the wasteful spending have been cut down in the government. That is the reason why it takes a political leader, the president. We have to muster the courage to do that because it has an adverse effect. But today, I heard people say they are council of picture, they are this. We are the real picture because we lower down our humility because of the power mass of this country.
Okay.
And to conclude on this, I would like for your TV crew to come to Buchanan on Thursday or Friday to come to Farmington River. Because the bigger human tsunami will hit Buchanan on Saturday where we will be endorsing President George Manenwia for his second term in Grand Bassa County. We are mobilizing every community. We are mobilizing all the districts, all candidates from the 5 electoral districts are mobilizing our people. We're going to troop them into Buchanan on Saturday to endorse President Weah second term. It will be one of the biggest shows of popularity that we're going to make sure that we ensure that the battle belt and the battle speaking county or Grand Bassa County will endorse President Weah for his second term.
Rest assured, we'll give you coverage. Our correspondent is there. Many thanks. I think this last caller. Okay, this last caller is off. We'll miss him. So let's take this last caller from this other line quickly, and then we'll be here from our studio guest and we'll take leave of him. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Abraham M. Keller, calling from Amagasi District 2. The minister said it clear. Let me tell you, thank you very much. We are really people. We are not ungrateful people, okay? We are seeing a lot of things what the president is doing. So, come October 10, in the name of the Almighty Allah, we will stand by the president. We make sure he be re-elected for the second term.
Okay.
Because of the president who work. Okay, so thank you very much.
Many thanks. Well, Dr. Tini, you heard the callers. How do you respond so that we can take leave of you?
Like I said, the people are the ones doing the campaign for us and not us going to them. And they are right. They see what we have done. They see what we are doing. They see what we have the potential to do. So it is not by accident that these people are congregating to petition the president to be re-elected. It is through his fulfillment of the promises made. It is through the fulfillment of the promises made. Are we there yet? No. But we are gradually moving towards the completion of all of our promises.
Before you go, let me just ask you, let's assume you were faced with a huge crowd of individuals and you had this loudspeaker to speak to them on a specific message, a key message as we go towards election. What a message will be?
Liberia is moving forward under George Weah. There is no turning back. We are on a forward march, and the people are leading the march, not George Weah, not his cabinet. It is the people leading the march to their destiny. So we are on a forward march led by the people. It is the people who are convinced that they will not turn back. The path is irreversible. The path is irreversible. And they are right. They are right to re-elect him because through his presence, hope is restored. Through his presence, the illusion of tomorrow is removed. Through his presence, future for our children is guaranteed. That is the message.
And the president has not squandered any opportunities.
No. We have not.
Okay, that's that. We thank you, Dr. Lester Tinney. Thank you very much for taking time off a busy schedule to appear.
Yeah. I know we have not started yet.
No.
Thank you.
No. Okay.